Now, quickly, let's jump to companies and roles. One of the best things about the UK job market that I really want to communicate is the fact that you are not limited by your degree. Okay. So if you're going to pursue, let's say, business analytics, it does not mean that you can only apply for business analytic position. Okay. In fact, employers hire from diverse degrees. And something I even shared on the Instagram Q&A was that law firms, you would think they're only hiring students studying law, but they're not. 50% of the yearly intake happens from non-law degrees, and then they teach you and pay for your education to become lawyers after they've hired you. So UK market is great in this sense. You can start your degree in management, let's say masters in management, but you can switch to any other role you like. No, any other role would not be completely true. So obviously you can't switch to engineering roles. You can't apply to, let's say, cloud computing roles because these are technical roles. But most of the other roles, things like wealth management, risk management, law, marketing, all of these roles are available to you regardless of the degree you're doing. Okay. Here I've given you examples of switches I've personally seen happen. Like my students have made these switches. I had someone doing geography degree who's now doing a wealth management job at Barclays. I had someone doing a biotech degree who's now doing risk management at Goldman Sachs. I had someone doing a business degree and they're now working a law job in one of the top law firms, Slaughter and May. Um, so keep this in mind. And the reason I tell you that is so that you can diversify your applications. Okay. And to make it easier, I've given you titles of 10 roles that hire regardless of what your degree is. Okay. So if you're searching for vacancies and you see one of these roles, chances are they're going to hire you regardless of your degree. So they're worth looking into. Okay. Now let's go to a list of companies. I always get the question saying, I made 500 applications. I only got rejections. What's happening? What's happening is two things. One, either you're getting rejected because your CV and cover letter isn't strong enough. So in the initial stage itself, you're out of the process. Or two, you're applying to companies that are not comfortable hiring international students. They either have not done it in the past, they don't have the resources to do so, and they just have a lot of employers, even despite the post-study work visa, are fearful of hiring international students because they think it comes with additional fees, right? It'll take a while for the employers to be educated. So in that time, what we can do is apply to companies that we know are hiring international students, specifically students from India. So all the logos you see on my screen are companies I have personally seen recruit Indian students, right? These are companies where my students have gone into and are working there. So I can vouch for these. So definitely have these companies on your list when you're prepping. Let's go ahead. In conclusion, let's conclude this section. Please apply to companies with a track record of hiring international students. Apply to roles that appeal to your interests, not your degree. Okay. So look at the job description. And if that interests you, apply for it. Your degree will not reduce your chances. In fact, it might increase the chances. Okay. Um, any questions, guys? Please keep putting it on chat. Preparation. What is the UK application process like? Please pay attention here because this is nothing like India. Every regular UK application process will at least have 5 to 6 stages. Okay. Starts from the application form where the most people apply, right? Post this, a few get filtered out, and we have your online tests. Online test is a bunch of numerical, verbal, all of that. If you pass these, then you go to video interview. I would say only 30% of the people who actually make the application form reach the video interview stage. If you pass the video interview, you're invited to the assessment center. And assessment center is a fun stage. A lot of students get invited to the company headquarters. So let's say if you apply to EY, for example, that's where I worked in London. It's a huge office right opposite the London Bridge. You'll be invited there. There's lunch, there's coffee. You get to network with the people who work at EY, but also you have assessment exercises through the day, right? So it's an 8-hour day, and they're assessing you on presentations, interviews. They make you play team games, stuff like that, but you're being assessed. So that's an assessment center. only 5% of the initial pool actually reach the final interview stage. Okay. And if you reach the final interview stage, the success rate from here to an offer is really high. Okay. The biggest filters are your online tests and your assessment centers. Okay. So this is the application process